The CIA spent $20 million to bury this research, but today, you're getting access. For years, the CIA has concealed one of its most powerful weapons, the art of manipulation through persuasion. The world only got a glimpse of these techniques when they were recently declassified, and the implications are shocking. In this video, you will uncover the 7 most forbidden and effective persuasion techniques used by the CIA, techniques that have the power to influence not just individuals, but entire nations. You might just be questioning everything you thought you knew about free will by the end of this. Part 1: The Psychological Subterfuge of Framing. What if you could make someone believe something was true, simply by how you presented the information? One of the CIA's most cunning techniques is the ability to frame information in such a way that the person receiving it perceives reality as the CIA wants them to. By manipulating the context in which information is presented, agents could shape perceptions and influence decisions without the subject even realizing it. This technique has been used in high-stakes negotiations, intelligence gathering, and even to manipulate public opinion on a global scale. Framing involves providing a limited perspective on an issue, either by omission of information or selective emphasis, to control the interpretation. In essence, it's about steering the narrative without directly altering the facts. Part 2: The Power of Reciprocity, the "you owe me" principle. Do you know why your friend suddenly bought you a coffee? It's not about generosity, it's a psychological weapon. The CIA understands the power of reciprocity. How small favors can lead to big commitments. The principle is simple: if you do something for someone, they will feel obligated to return the favor. The agency has long known how to use this in their operations. Through seemingly innocent actions, they create a sense of indebtedness that can be exploited at will. This technique doesn't just apply to casual exchanges. In the CIA's use of reciprocity, agents might extend an olive branch to an adversary or recruit, making them feel indebted to the agency. This creates an opening for manipulation, where the recipient of the favor becomes psychologically bound to comply with further demands. Part 3: The Power of Authority, Wearing the Cloak of Expertise. If you knew someone held power over your life, would you resist their every word or trust them blindly? One of the most subtle forms of persuasion is authority. People are more likely to comply with instructions when they perceive the individual giving them as an authority figure. The CIA has used this to its advantage, ensuring that operatives, whether disguised as experts or under the cloak of secrecy, are seen as figures of unquestionable authority. By controlling how a person is perceived and making them appear as an expert, the CIA can manipulate others into trusting them, following orders, and complying with requests that may otherwise seem unreasonable. This principle is used in everything from psychological warfare to handling confidential sources in the field. Part 4: The Foot-in-the-Door Technique, the Power of Small Requests. What if I told you the CIA can get anyone to say yes just by asking the smallest favor first? The foot-in-the-door technique is one of the CIA's most effective methods for gaining compliance. By starting with a small request, an agent can establish a relationship and create a pathway for larger, more significant requests later on. This is because once someone has agreed to a small action, they are more likely to agree to a larger one. The technique plays on consistency and the desire for people to appear rational and reliable. Once you've agreed to something small, your brain is more likely to want to maintain that consistency with larger commitments, even if they deviate from your original intention. Part 5: The Power of Social Proof, Hurting the Masses. Why do you think a crowd's behavior can control your actions, even without your knowledge? Social proof is a tool often used by the CIA to create psychological pressure, especially in manipulating large groups of people. The principle is based on the idea that people will often conform to the actions of others, especially in situations of uncertainty. This is why mass movements, trends, and even political uprisings often begin, not because of one individual's voice, but because of the collective behavior of a group. The CIA has used social proof in psychological warfare to sway public opinion and influence the behavior of entire populations. Whether through staged events, fabricated support for a cause, or manipulation of media narratives, social proof can turn the tide of public sentiment. Part 6. The Scarcity Principle, making people want what they can't have. If something is rare, doesn't that make it more valuable? The CIA uses this principle to influence global negotiations. Scarcity is a principle so powerful that it can make the most mundane object seem incredibly valuable, just because it's limited. The CIA has used this in the form of secretive information, rare resources, or even by limiting access to critical intelligence. When people believe that something is scarce, they become more likely to take action to acquire it, whether it's a secret deal or information that can change the course of history. By creating a sense of urgency, the CIA ensures that people will comply with demands or enter negotiations under pressure, increasing the likelihood of a favorable outcome for the agency. Part 7. The Nuclear Option, the Use of Fear and Intimidation. What if the CIA could make you comply, simply by instilling a sense of fear so profound, that you would act against your own interests? The final forbidden technique is the use of fear. When psychological manipulation is no longer enough, the CIA taps into the primal fear response, an emotion that overrides all rational thought. Fear is used not only to intimidate but to push people into compliance without question. This is often seen in high-risk missions, hostage negotiations, or even in times of political instability. When fear is the primary motivator, individuals become more pliable, more likely to take drastic actions they would not normally consider. The CIA's use of fear-based persuasion is one of their most potent weapons, yet it is also one of the most dangerous. Now that you know these forbidden techniques, will you ever be able to trust your own decisions again? The CIA's forbidden persuasion techniques are a testament to the immense power that psychological manipulation holds in our world. Whether it's through framing, authority, reciprocity, or fear, these methods have been used to shape the course of history, influence decisions, and control populations. The most terrifying aspect? You may have already been subjected to some of these techniques, without even realizing it.